Okay, you don't need to comment about that. Okay, maybe you should comment about that.
Welcome to On Track inside the MRT. Today, I'll be riding some of the most important lines in the MRT system, and I'll be tapping on a bit of their histories and giving you some facts about them. But first, let me introduce you to this guy.
Boyang, say cheese. Say hi.
This guy's name is Boyang, or Boyang, or whatever you want to call him. He's a train nerd for Singapore's MRT, and he'll be joining me today. So let's go ride the downtown line. The downtown line runs from Bukit Panjang to Expo, and in a few years' time it will be extended to Sungai Bedok. In 23rd October 2001, 3 different lines were announced that later merged into the downtown line. The line we have today was completed in 21st October 2017. One thing that is special about the downtown line is that it's one of the only lines around the world that loops around itself. As Boyang says, if you get out at Rochos and walk to Jalan Besar station, you can actually ride the train previous to yours. Also,
By the way, Boyang, can you give us some facts about the downtown line?
You mean as of now or what?
Like now.
So basically 76 out of 92 trains have been refurbished. And also, right, it probably has the fastest deceleration of any line.
now let's move on to the North-South line. Changing at Newton Station, where you have to tap out to change lines because the downtown line wasn't planned to have an interchange at that station. The North-South line is the first ever MRT line, beginning service from Yio Chu Kang to Toa Payoh on 7th November 1987, with the current full line completed in 2019.
You want to give some facts about this train? Go.
So right, this train is the C151B, right? So we have Braddell Station, right, one of the original 5 stations. And at the time of opening was the only one whose doors open on the other side of the platform, on the other side of the train. As you can see over there, that's the C151B, right?
This station for the Circle Line.
We rode it to Bishan Station, but there's something special about the platforms.
So here we are at Bishan MRT station, which was one of the original 5 stations that were in the MRT network. So it is currently the only station which is exactly on the ground level. And there was actually another platform on the opposite side, but the other platform has been moved, and like now there is a wall separating the other platform. The other track is actually just behind this wall. The reason why they changed it was to make way for the Circle Line, and as there will be a circle, as they will have to link the Circle Line to the North-South line, they will have to make an interchange, and it resulted in the tracks having to be moved.
At Bishan Station, we changed for the Circle Line, Singapore's one and only unfinished oval line and one that is iconic for overcrowding. In fact, when we change, you can see the amount of people there. So why is the Circle Line always so crowded? When the Circle Line was being planned, SMRT thought that no one would ride it because they had small demand back then. So they built it with 3 cars, each with 3 doors. Clearly, that was not enough. The problem now is that they can't just add another car because you can't extend the station's platform. So now, we're stuck with the overcrowding of the Circle Line.
So Boyang, tell us why you're timing this.
Well, I know that Bishan to Lorong Chuan takes longer than Lorong Chuan to Serangoon. And can you even hear me?
Probably.
Now at Serangoon Station, we change to the North-East line, as everyone does. The North-East line is the only line in the entire MRT network that had its whole line opened on one day. It opened with the main goal of connecting the newer BTO estates in Punggol to the city in 20th June 2003. 2 stations, however, were not opened yet, which was Buangkok and Woodleigh, which later opened on 15 January 2006 and 20th June 2011 respectively. We rode the C851E to Punggol, the latest but also rarest train on the line.
So this is the C851E train. This is the newest train model on the North-East line that came into operation in August last year. As you can see, there are brighter lights, and the outside of the train actually is purple.
At Punggol Station, we changed to, well, Waterway Point Mall at first, but then the Punggol LRT. When we went there, for some reason, there were no West Loop trains. Only the East Loop was the most common. We waited quite a bit for it to come, but we got on anyways. But why the West Loop? Because any Singaporean trainer would tell you to go ride it. There is not only an unopened station that the LRT stops at randomly, there's also a track protrusion that cuts off halfway. Why is that? Well, the unopened station is Tech Lee Station. It hasn't opened because there's nothing around it. But the LRT still stops there, and you can still see the old MRT map, where the North-South line is the newest line and the Circle line hadn't existed yet. As for the protrusion, you can see it at two spots, here and here. If you trace back its steps to Punggol, you would also see empty tracks at the platform where no train is leaving. Why is that?
So over here, right, you can see that this is an unused platform that eventually got covered up, and this platform was supposed to be for a potential branch line of the Punggol LRT that headed towards some other station.
Coney Island.
We stated later, which would eventually go to Coney Island. However, the plans were scrapped for reasons that I completely forgot. You're also gonna go search that
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna go search that up.
And as a result, they decided to just cover up this platform, and the consequence was that there was a platform that was twice as long as it was supposed to be.
We actually rode the loop twice because we didn't get enough footage for it. As we walked back to the North-East line, we saw a sign telling us that there was no more North-East line trains.
No more train service to Harbourfront. That's weird.
The screen was probably broken because we rode the oldest train in the North-East line, the C751A, which changed tracks after leaving Punggol Station.
I don't think you can see the track crossing.
Anyways, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.